The heavy cane in Amarka's hand crashed down once more, hitting the frail back of the blind 80-year-old woman, huddled on the icy tile floor. You won't stop until you ruin me, will you? Just end it. Just end it and set me free. Voice thundered with fury. Woman on the floor whispered Sandra groan, her face contorted in agony and bewilderment. Protect her head. Skin, a searing fire fueled by rage. Voice a fragile whisper, trembling with fear. To see. Her scream pierced the silence, breathless and raw. Stop the charade. 5 years in this house, and nothing has ever worked. I've exhausted all options, doctors, prayers, fasting. Yet there was no child, not a single child. Her hand trembled as she raised the cane once more, tears streaming down her cheeks. You're a sorceress. My friend Jennifer said that. You're ancient, sightless, yet somehow still breathing as if all is well. You sealed my fate, Mama Sandra. You've shattered my existence. The cane struck once more. Mama Sandra emitted a heart-wrenching cry, curling into herself like a wounded creature. Helpless, blind, old, weak. Yet in Amarka's eyes, she was the enemy. The guest room held a tense silence, pierced only by the echoes of anguish, fury, and gasping breaths. Suddenly, the door creaked open. There stood Benjamin, her husband, her world. He returned. Benjamin's gaze locked onto the Sinaida cane, gripped tightly by his wife, while his mother quaked on the floor, red welts blooming across her frail arms and back. His breath hitched, chest constricting painfully. For a heartbeat, he was frozen, paralyzed by the weight of the moment. He arrived too soon, shattering the fragile calm. He abandoned the meeting, compelled by a deep instinct in his chest to see if Mama was okay. In the doorway, he stood paralyzed, trapped in his darkest nightmare. Amarka. His voice trembled, a chilling whisper that cut through the silence. What is happening? What's happening right now? Amarka's body froze. Her hands released the cane, and it crashed to the floor, shattering the silence like a hammer striking glass. Her lips parted, silence engulfing her. Words failed her, trapped in a tight grip of silence. I can explain, she whispered, retreating as if her very skin recoiled. But Benjamin was gone. He advanced, fury bubbling within him like scalding liquid. She was a stranger now, lost to him forever. Amarka had changed, and it cut deep. She was no longer the woman who had once poured tea for his mother, her smile long gone. It wasn't them. It was someone entirely different. A heart consumed by bitterness. A heartless soul. In an instant, his hand struck her cheek. Hard, swift. A raw surge of betrayal and agony. Amarka collapsed, disbelief etched across her face. She gripped her cheek, breathless. Benjamin was a stranger in his own skin. Mama, he cried, spinning away, racing to the floor where she lay. Mom, I made it, I made it. He knelt beside her, tenderly brushing her hair back, his heart shattering. Mama, do you hear me? It's me, Benjamin. Ben? She breathed, her voice trembling with pain. Why did she have to hurt me? I swear I did nothing. Benjamin's face was streaked with tears. He cradled his mother gently, a fragile weight in his embrace. She was a whisper barely there. How long had her pain gone unheard? He glanced back at Amarka, the woman who held his heart, his trust, and now the safety of his mother. Driver! Benjamin shouted, bursting through the door, cradling Mama Sandra like a fragile treasure. Start the car. We need to get to the hospital now. Amarka lay on the floor, paralyzed. The sting of the slap faded, but the ache in her heart roared. She held back tears, convinced deep down that her truth was unshakable. Jennifer had won her over. Every late-night call, every whispered secret. How can an elderly blind woman still be alive? So you, a young woman, are unable to have children? Jennifer would whisper. Reflect. A shadow looms. You already know. She trusted her completely. She nurtured the seed of doubt and hate, watching it flourish. Now, she stood frozen, watching the man she loved lift his shattered mother from the house. And something in her chest shattered. The silence that ensued drowned out every scream. Mama Sandra's cries reverberated in her ears. She struggled to move, but her legs betrayed her. Words fought to escape, but guilt tightened its grip around her throat. The guest room lay bare, save for the cane on the floor and the haunting presence of the woman Amarka once was. The hospital hallway lay still, pierced only by the soft whir of machines and the swift steps of nurses. Benjamin waited outside the emergency room, fists tight, elbows digging into his knees. Silence stretched between them, heavy and suffocating, for more than an hour. His tie hung askew, eyes bloodshot, revealing a pain that ran far deeper than fatigue. Deceit. How could Amarka betray us like this? How could she inflict pain on his mother, his vulnerable, sightless mother? Mama Sandra remained in the emergency room, the air thick with tension. The doctors rushed to conduct tests, searching for hidden injuries within. The bruises on her back, shoulders, and arms had been tended to, but the pain lingered. It wasn't merely her body that concerned them. It was the fragility of her heart. At 80, a single emotional blow could shatter everything. A nurse emerged at last. "Sir," she said softly, "she's stable for now, but we must monitor her closely for at least 48 hours. Her heart raced erratically as she entered. Benjamin nodded, words caught in his throat. "May I see her?" She guided him through the door. Mama Sandra lay on the hospital bed, her skin ghostly against the stark white sheets, a drip tethered to her hand. Upon hearing Benjamin's voice, her smile ignited. "My everything." Benjamin approached, his fingers intertwining with hers. "Mom, I can't believe this happened. I'm truly sorry. Bringing her here was a mistake I can't undo. I should have sensed the danger lurking beneath the surface." "I could have." "Absolutely not." Her whisper pierced the silence as she gripped his hand tightly, a surge of unexpected power in her touch. "You had no idea." Her act was flawless. "I never meant to reveal this. What do you want to know?" Benjamin's gaze sharpened, a storm brewing within. "She despised me," Mama Sandra whispered. "I sensed it long before I stepped inside the house." Her voice pierced through the silence. Her deliberate evasion stung deeply. "I wondered if it was simply too difficult for her. You longed for a child. I couldn't bear to add to your struggle." Benjamin's heart cracked further, each piece falling away. "I can't grasp why she transformed," he murmured. Mama Sandra's lips quivered. "She isn't alone. Deceit has wrapped around her like a shroud. Hate took root in her heart, a dark seed sown by another." At the mansion, Amarka faced the mirror, her reflection a haunting reminder of everything she had lost. Her cheek burned, a vivid reminder of the sting. She touched it repeatedly, yearning to erase the past. The silence in the house choked the air. She approached the dining table, sank into the chair, and let her head fall onto the smooth surface. Her mind raced to Jennifer's voice on the phone, just weeks ago. "Amarka, wake up. What do you believe is holding you back from becoming pregnant? The old woman is to blame. I've witnessed it unfold time and again. Witches endure. They defy death. She might be devouring your children in the realm beyond." "Don't be silly, Jennifer." Amarka shot back that day. "Mama can't see. She can't even stand on her own. That's what makes it so easy for you to be deceived," Jennifer snapped. "Witches soar beyond brooms. They battle through curses. She's obstructing your future. Remember this. As long as she lives, a child will never be yours." That day changed everything. Amarka's gaze on Mama Sandra shifted, heavy with unspoken thoughts. With each laugh from the old woman, Amarka's heart clenched painfully. With each prayer spoken in Igbo, Amarka felt the weight of an unseen magic, a haunting uncertainty gripping her heart. Fear burrowed deep within her soul, twisting into a dark, consuming hate. She understood at last. Fear gripped her, a silent shadow she never dared to confront. She simply surrendered to it. 2 days slipped away. Benjamin never left the hospital, his presence a constant shadow in the sterile halls. Sleep eluded him. On the second night, Mama Sandra mustered the strength to sit up. They had eased her pain, and her smile brightened, yet her body still quaked with uncertainty. "Ben," she whispered, gripping his hand tightly, "you have to decide. I refuse to be the cause of your heartbreak, yet I cannot linger in a place where I am unwelcome." Benjamin averted his gaze from his mother's sightless eyes, a wave of shame crashing over him. Mama, you didn't do anything wrong. I vowed to create a life together, yet now she feels like a stranger. She's gone, Mama whispered, her voice breaking. Yet, there are moments when individuals stray, swayed by the whispers of the misguided. Benjamin rose. It's time to face the truth. Everything is not okay. She nearly took your life, Mama. She may not even regret it. His mother nodded, a weight of understanding in her gaze. I will pray for her. Yet Benjamin's decision was final. He stepped back into the mansion that evening. Amaka heard his footsteps and dashed down the stairs. She was impeccably dressed, hair perfectly styled, makeup concealing the rawness beneath. Her smile, tender and rare, flickered back to life after weeks of absence. Ben, she whispered, thank the heavens. How is Mama holding up? Worry consumes me. He let her go. Silence hung heavy in the air. He brushed by her, collapsing onto the couch, silence thick between them. She's fine, he replied, devoid of emotion. Tomorrow she walks out. That's good. Amaka nodded, frozen like a child caught in a moment of fear. A heavy silence lingered. Then Benjamin lifted his gaze. I'm done. I want a divorce. Amaka collapsed. What? You heard me loud and clear. It's over. She sprinted to him. Stop, Benjamin, please. Confusion enveloped me. Fear gripped me. I was lost, adrift in uncertainty. He rose, his gaze ignited by a chill deeper than fury. You struck a frail, sightless woman with her own cane. My everything. You shattered her world. You destroyed this marriage. Just this once. She fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Jennifer claimed she orchestrated it all. I never intended for this to happen. He snapped. Exactly. You heed the voices of strangers. You allowed someone to destroy what we shared, and now you expect me to act like it never occurred? No, Amaka. This is the price we pay. She reached for his leg. He recoiled, the distance between them sharp and painful. Silence hangs heavy in the air. He ascended the stairs, leaving Amaka trembling on her knees. She braced herself, but nothing could prepare her for what came next. 2 days later, Benjamin revealed his shocking news. He had taken the first step towards freedom. He found companionship at last. A woman stood beside him. Her secret would shatter Amaka's world completely. The media pounced instantly. On the third day, headlines swarmed the blogs. Billionaire CEO Benjamin Okafor files for divorce. A new woman by his side. Billionaire's wife exposed for mistreating her blind mother-in-law. Divorce finalized with the in-laws. Amaka turned away from her phone. She averted her eyes from the screen, heart racing, unable to face the words waiting for her. Since the day Benjamin handed her the divorce papers, she had not dared to leave the house. Everything was spiraling out of control. She had pleaded. Her tears fell. She sank to her knees, vowing to seek help. To the church, to any place his heart desired. Yet Benjamin stood resolute. She dialed his number once more, desperation clawing at her heart. Again for the 5th time that morning. Disconnected. Silence. Heart sinks. Amaka hurled the phone away, her scream piercing the silence. This is unreal. Yet it was. That morning, Benjamin faced the world in his office. A private press conference set to confront the prying eyes of shareholders and media eager to unearth his secrets. He made the meeting a quick, impactful moment. My mother is healing beautifully. Your concern means the world to me. Thank you, he spoke, his voice steady. Regarding my marriage, Amaka and I have parted ways. The divorce has started. Silence engulfed the room, heavy and electric. And then, the unexpected happened. As he spoke, Benjamin implored the media and the public to honor his family's privacy. His fingers intertwining with the woman beside him, a silent bond of support in the moment. Her silence spoke volumes, a serene mask hiding a storm within. This is Adana, Benjamin whispered, his voice heavy with meaning. She is a lifeline, a healer who rescued my mother from the brink. She embodies the essence of peace and kindness, a rare light in a chaotic world. Flashbulbs exploded, capturing the moment as reporters struggled to comprehend the scene before them. The stunning woman next to him, dark-skinned and tall, exuded elegance in her white midi. She was softly dressed, yet her silence spoke volumes. She simply couldn't. Her mere presence next to the billionaire spoke volumes. The glint on her finger said it all. At the mansion, Amaka lay curled on the couch, the same wrapper clinging to her for 2 long days. Her eyes were puffy and red. The TV buzzed softly, unnoticed, until a sound pierced her thoughts. In a stunning reveal, CEO Benjamin Okafor has unveiled his new partner to the world. Social media ignites, with images of Dr. Adana and Benjamin captivating the world. Amaka's heart sank. She sat up, heart racing, snatching the remote and cranking the volume up. The images on the screen pierced the soul. Benjamin's smile, fingers entwined with Adana's. Adana's laughter echoed beside him at the charity event, a moment of pure joy amidst the chaos. Adana captivates, serenity, unyielding. Who is she, really? How long has it been? Amaka gasped for air. Was it this simple for you to walk away? She whispered, eyes locked on the screen, feeling its betrayal cut deep. Is this the truth behind it all? She snatched her phone once more, diving into Jennifer's chat. Amaka, you did it. He's gone forever. You urged me to confront his mother. You said she was the issue. Time slipped away. Silence echoes. Heart races. Amaka, Jennifer, I've lost it all. He's found solace in another's arms. Shame consumes me. No response yet. Then she took the plunge, clicking on Jennifer's profile for the first time. Her jaw clenched. Jennifer Naji. Village transformed. And Ambra, her display picture revealed a dim room, shadows dancing among the shattered ceiling panels. In an instant, everything shattered. Amaka fought fiercely, driven by the empty words of another. Alone, unemployed, silence shattered. A woman nourished by her own bitterness, feeding on lies. Envy consumes. She recalled Jennifer's sneer every time Benjamin's gifts were brought up. Her silence stung when Benjamin gifted her the supermarket. Her words dripped with disdain for Mama Sandra, always ready to strike. Amaka was overwhelmed by a wave of nausea. Everything was shattered because of her. A week later, Benjamin came back, for the final time, here to end it all and reclaim the mansion keys. The supermarket lay silent, its doors barred by the weight of a court's decree. Amaka stepped outside, bare feet touching the ground, her scarf fluttering wildly in the breeze. She resembled a mere echo of who she once was. Benjamin ignored her completely. Her voice pierced the silence, reaching for him. Ben, I beg you, we need to talk. Just once more. He turned, a heartbeat hanging in the air. His face held a serene mask, yet his eyes wandered far away. I don't despise you, Amaka, he whispered softly. Trust is gone. I can't rely on you any longer. I was mistaken. I understand that now. Jennifer deceived me. She tainted my thoughts. You heard, he answered. Your decision led us here. You hurt my mother. You labeled her a witch. Can you fathom the impact it had on her? Amaka's tears streamed down her cheeks. She was my last lifeline. No, he replied, his head shaking in denial. You owned me. You let me go. He thrust a white envelope into her hands. Here are the last divorce papers. I reclaimed the supermarket and the mansion. A lawyer will reach out to you regarding the next steps. He turned and walked away, leaving her alone in the compound. A month later, Benjamin and Adana exchanged vows in a deeply intimate ceremony. A year passed, and they embraced the arrival of twin girls, Nadine and Naomi. The irony screamed. The curse Amaka feared was never the true enemy. Benjamin remained steadfast in his ways. He still saw the same doctor. He transformed only the woman. Then the blessing arrived. In the village, Amaka found herself in her parents' mud house, cramped in a room with her younger cousins. What about Jennifer? She had vanished without a trace. Last Amaka knew, she had journeyed to Lagos, chasing dreams after borrowing from those she never repaid. Amaka perched on a weathered bench, eyes locked on the children in the compound, their laughter echoing as they darted after one another. Her eyes held a haunting emptiness. Her wrapper hung, worn and weary. She was alone, unemployed, homeless. What now? Alone. The haunting whispers shattered her existence. And sorrow. Endless regret. Then, a knock shattered the silence. A face from the past, haunting her thoughts. They had company. The knock shattered the silence. A haunting reminder she couldn't bear to confront. Amaka lifted her gaze, hands trembling as she peeled the bitter cola beneath the sprawling mango tree by her father's mud house. The breeze whispered secrets, dust swirling, laughter echoing from afar. Her life had turned achingly silent. Empty halls. No grocery store. Silence reigns. Only the echoes of ancient roosters, whispers of village secrets, and a heavy silence linger. The knock echoed once more. 3 gentle knocks. She stood alone, heart racing, unprepared for the knock that shattered her solitude. She seldom ventured outside now, and when she did, it was only to gather water or to buy dried fish on credit from Mom and Ketchy. With a heavy heart, she rose, securing her wrapper around her chest. Each step toward the old wooden door laden with unspoken weight. "Who's there?" she whispered into the silence. The door swung open, unbidden. There, in front of her, was a face from the past she believed was lost forever. Yet, she felt the weight of presence beside her. She held 2 baby girls, swaddled in delicate pink and white shawls. One lay in serene slumber, her lips softly curved in a tender pout. Wide brown eyes locked onto Amaka, unblinking and intense. For a heartbeat, Amaka gasped for air. She recoiled, confusion flashing in her eyes. "Why are you here?" She barely spoke, her voice breaking. Adana hesitated, silence hanging heavy in the air. She gazed at Amaka, neither proud nor mocking, but with a calm that seemed almost tender. "I was just passing through," Adana finally admitted. "We were in the neighboring town for a medical outreach. I asked Benjamin if I could see you before we left." Amaka recoiled at the sound of his name. He stood alone, a storm brewing within. "He knows you arrived," Adana whispered softly. They stood in silence, the weight of unspoken words hanging heavy in the air. A silence so profound, hearts roar while lips remain still. Amaka's gaze fell upon the infants. 2 souls, 1 heartbeat. Vital, serene, stunning. Her heart wavered between tears and laughter. "I see God didn't block your womb," Amaka whispered, her voice trembling with unshed tears. Adana cradled the baby in her left arm, a heavy sigh escaping her lips. "It was never about the barriers, Amaka. It was a tale of hearts trapped in silence." Amaka collapsed, trembling on the entrance floor. "I destroyed everything," she murmured. "I discarded it all. I embraced hate and dread. A foolish friend brought my downfall." Adana knelt beside her, heart racing, careful not to disturb the sleeping babies. "You're not alone in being misled," she whispered softly. "Yet we must confront the burden of our decisions to reclaim our peace. I wounded his mother." Amaka spoke, her voice trembling with tears. She stood there, silent, as the storm raged on. She asked me why. My heart raced. Adana's head dipped in silent agreement. "Mama Sandra has let it go." She uttered those words just before we tied the knot. Amaka's eyes widened in disbelief. She stood there, heart racing, the weight of the world pressing down. Every breath felt like a battle, every moment a lifetime. Hope flickered in her eyes, fragile yet fierce. "She did. Absolutely. She noticed the anguish in your gaze long before the strike. She warned Benjamin to banish bitterness from our home." That shattered Amaka. She collapsed, her hands shielding her face as the tears streamed down. Raw, aching cries that burst forth after a lifetime of silence. "I wish I could go back," she sobbed. "That phone call changed everything." Ignored Jennifer completely. Adana's hand rested softly on her shoulder. "You can't return," she whispered, her voice heavy with truth. "Yet you can move ahead." Amaka's gaze pierced through her, eyes puffy and bloodshot. "Why? Begin anew," Adana urged. "Yearn for tranquility. Fight for it. Embrace simplicity. Embrace your worth, independent of anyone else's label." The words pierced through the soul, yet they sowed something deeper. A single seed, Despair fades and a flicker ignites. As Adana turned to go, a baby stirred, eyes fluttering open, releasing a soft sound that pierced the silence. Her gaze fixed on Amaka, curiosity flickering in her eyes. Amaka reached out instinctively, and Adana, with a soft smile, allowed her to cradle the baby for just a heartbeat. Warmth enveloped her as tears cascaded down her cheeks, holding the fragile bundle close. She carries his scent, Amaka breathed. Benjamin, Adana's eyes sparkled with understanding. Her eyes mirror his stubbornness, a fierce echo of his spirit. Two women, worlds apart, shared a laugh, bound by pain, truth, and destiny. Desire. Tell him I'm sorry, Amaka pleaded, her gaze intense. I already did, Adana whispered, her voice trembling with urgency. Yet again I will tell him. With a firm grip on her baby, she tightened the shawls and walked away. She paused at the edge, glancing back one final time. Look after yourself, Amaka. Rewrite your story. The time is now. With that, she vanished down the narrow village path, the twins cradled tightly in her embrace. Amaka lingered, eyes fixed on the dust swirling away, her palms still warm from the baby's touch, her heart heavy with the haunting ache of lost possibilities. For the first time in months, she finally whispered something, her voice barely a breath. Grateful for you, Adana. She rose, not upright, not bold, but ready to mend. As she stepped back inside, a flicker of movement drew her gaze. A woman I know, by the mango tree in the compound's corner, wearing a faded pink blouse and fake gold earrings. It was Jennifer. Everything changed in that moment. Her expression held no shame. It was a smirk that cut deep. Are you still holding me responsible for your downfall, Amaka? She replied with an icy calm. Are you ready to embrace your true self at last? Amaka gasped, her lips trembling in disbelief. Jennifer. The name now felt like poison on her tongue. The same tongue that once spoke words of loyalty. The same lips that had laughed joyfully into the night, wine in hand, in the mansion Benjamin had provided. Jennifer stood beneath the ancient mango tree, arms crossed, her fake designer slippers caked in village dust. Text, you're shocked, she remarked, a sly grin on her face. What did you say? You really believed I wouldn't come to see my dear friend after shattering her world? Amaka stood frozen, caught in a storm of anger and disbelief. You deceived me. You claimed Mama Sandra was a witch. You sowed that idea in my mind. You shattered my marriage. Jennifer sneered. You really believe you can be controlled so easily? You chose that Cain, not me. You accomplished that on your own. The words pierced Amaka's heart, leaving a raw wound. I trusted you, she whispered, her voice shaking. You were everything to me. What did I receive in exchange? Jennifer fired a retort. You chose a billionaire, and I remained here, lost in this village. You strode through Lagos, regal and commanding. Your world on Instagram. Your journey. Your upscale grocery haven. You've forgotten the one who stood by you when you were just a vendor in the market. Amaka's face shattered. Was it all just jealousy? Name it as you wish, Jennifer replied, a dismissive shrug escaping her. Watching your castle crumble was a thrill. You never should have let her in. I did you a favor whether you see it or not. Amaka's hands tightened at her sides. Everything is gone. Good, Jennifer spat. At last we stand as one. Yet Amaka remained silent. She held it all inside. This ends now. She moved closer. Her voice was a whisper, yet it held an undeniable strength. No, Jennifer. Please just stop. We stand apart. Your peace slipped away ages ago. That's why you'll never hold on to him. You never lingered long enough to create something meaningful. Jennifer's smirk vanished. Your existence thrives on whispers and the suffering of others. The burden of my mistakes crushes me. I've confronted my darkest fears. In the stillness, only the echo of my regret remains. Yet here I am, unbroken. Jennifer's lips parted, words poised on the edge of her breath. But Amaka cut her off. I'm not angry at you, she whispered. I've given up on the battle. All I crave is peace. You must desire the same. She walked away, her back to him, heading toward the house. For once, Jennifer was silent, Her words vanished into the void. Time slipped away. Amaka started to piece her life back together, step by step. She volunteered at the women's health clinic, sweeping floors, folding bandages, and distributing clean water. It was a stark contrast to the vibrant supermarket she had once overseen. For the first time, her heart brimmed with fullness. She was creating a profound impact. Whispers spread. She was finally seen. Mama Ifioma, a local nurse, embraced her, guiding her through the intense world of deliveries. Amaka arrived daily, silent yet determined, ready to absorb every lesson. One afternoon, while guiding a pregnant teenager through the agony of labor, a profound change stirred within her chest. A flicker of warmth, a reason to exist. A girl, born safe and sound. Amaka embraced her tightly for a heartbeat, then passed her to the weary mother. She held it in this time. Her smile pierced through the silence. After ages of numbness, she finally felt the spark of womanhood reignite within her. In Lagos, Benjamin and Adana poured laughter and love into the lives of their twin daughters. Mama Sandra, now fierce, sat by the window, weaving tales in Igbo as the babies erupted in laughter at her animated gestures. One evening, Adana entered the living room, clutching a newspaper tightly. "Ben," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Listen closely." His gaze fell upon the headline. Once a billionaire's wife, now a village midwife. She carries the weight of lost dreams and new beginnings. A tale of salvation. Benjamin absorbed the article in silence. A photo captured Amaka's faint smile, her faded apron draped over her, cradling a newborn at the village clinic. "Now she's a beacon for women," Adana said. "Heartbreaking innocence, young mothers. Grief lingers like a shadow." Benjamin breathed out, crumpling the paper in his fist. "She's not the same anymore," he whispered. Adana's head dipped in silent agreement. With a heavy heart, Benjamin gazed out the window. "She was never bad," he whispered, his voice heavy with unspoken pain, only shattered. Silence hung heavy between them. Benjamin's smile lit up as he watched his daughter crawl across the rug. "Let's raise them with love," he urged, "so they always remember their true selves." 1 year later, Amaka faced a modest yet burgeoning structure next to the village clinic. A women's resource center, born from the generosity of an NGO that recognized her dedication. Now, she led the training of younger girls, guiding them to care for women in need, just as she had once been cared for. Girls deceived by falsehoods. Deceived. Shattered. That afternoon, she perched on a wooden bench, eyes locked on the horizon. Her phone vibrated. A sudden jolt in the silence. Powerful message from an unknown number. "Amaka, you make me proud. Press on." Her smile was a whisper of warmth. Uncertainty gnawed at her. Was it Benjamin, Adana, or perhaps Mama Sandra? The doubt consumed her. Yet it was all irrelevant. She had finally found solace in her past. She found peace within. She transformed into an unforeseen force. Just a woman not defined by wealth. Not a shattered divorcee. A woman who emerged from the storm. She transformed her scars into beacons for those lost in darkness. What do you think of this tale? Where are you tuning in from? If this story resonates with you, please comment, share, and subscribe for more captivating tales.